Welcome to the Gentleman's Talk, where the podcast talks about a man's battle with mental health, his personal experiences, and his journey to be a better soul. Hosted by James Dean Littlejohn.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Gentleman's Talk, or as I'm saying to myself, welcome back from the dead. I recently got over COVID, which was an interesting feeling for me. I'm not going to lie to you. It completely and utterly consumed me all of last week. So I went from being, hold on, I'm just trying to sort that out. My phone's being a bit of a funny one, for some reason. Anyway, so I went from, being okay. I thought I was dying. I had a little bit of a cold last week. Transpired that, I kicked into COVID. COVID was full on, and I'm not going to lie, I'm probably a little bit melodramatic, in the sense that, got to Sunday and, I thought at one point I was going to die. I did genuinely believe that. As melodramatic as that seems, that is certainly how it felt for me anyway. And then, I got to Thursday, it consumed me. I really wanted to do a podcast last week. I was fully invested in it. I've got loads of stuff to talk about. And certainly whilst I was at the depths of the darkest point of COVID, I certainly come up with loads of topics and stuff, really, sort of rejuvenate, feel, things I want to talk about. It was interesting. It was a very, very interesting one. So tested negative on Thursday and had an impromptu evening with my brother and my best mate Kieran as well. So, it was interesting. And it gave me loads of food to think about, really. Partially, I've got a little topic I want to talk about, which just resonated with me last week, and it to the point where it overtook me a little bit, if I'm brutally honest. But before I start, the lead up to it will be kind of explain why I'm leading up to it with the feeling of the Friday. So. I had a nice afternoon. My brother came over, and have to bear in mind that me and my brother we go for our own things. We're very, very similar. If you've ever seen photos of us, we are almost like twins. So for me, we're a bit too close, if I'm brutally honest. In a good way. We've learned to mature, which has always been very nice. And that was prevalent on Friday, if I'm brutally honest, because he spent the afternoon with me, and we've not spent a lot of time with each other, me and my brother, which is ironic when we are so alike. But we just haven't. We've never sort of we've never really sort of coincided at the right time. Normally, when I've been in sort of depression, he helped me out when he was in his happiness, and I think he's very much I can, in all honesty, say he's going through the stage that I went through started about 7 years ago. And it was interesting because we were having some long chats. So we had a kind of pleasant evening, really. He came round, we went down to Wetherspoons, and even me and my brother haven't even been to the pub together. That's how interesting our relationship is. We spent quite a volatile youth, really. Very sort of, you can imagine living in a house raised by the army ethos, if you like, which is no detriment to my dad. He raised me to be who I am today, for all of its goods and all of its bads. It wasn't, I don't ever hold anything against him, but what it did do was the way he raised me, unfortunately, is a negative and a positive. He raised me to be very competitive, hence the reason why I enjoy a lot of sports. I enjoy a lot of competition. I don't like being bad at things, if I'm brutally honest, and it's really hard for me to accept when I am bad at something, which is, it chews you up after a while if you're like that constantly. I'm learning to relax as I get a bit older, not as competitive as I used to be. But at the same time, I can turn it on. Do you know what I mean? Which I've ruined friendships over it, if I'm honest. And one of those friendships that was ruined was me and my brother. We just stopped talking. He joined the army. I joined the Royal Air Force, and he wanted to get out of the house because it wasn't a great atmosphere. I was going through other things and, had my own problems. I was a bit of a tearaway as a lad, sort of out all hours. And, I did treat my house a bit like a doss house. But to be perfectly honest, most teenagers do that. But the way I was raised it was very much a bit of a negative. So AD saw a lot of negatives with me and my dad. We're very competitive. We've always strived to be the alpha male in the household. So for me, that was easy because I could just turn a blind eye to everyone else, and I just wanted to compete with my dad. And it did, over the years, it did get to a point where, we had to avoid each other. But AD got to the point where he'd just seen that in the background, and AD's quite competitive, but he's actually quite a relaxed guy as well. So he saw the kind of the consumption of me being an arsehole, basically, and just didn't want to be part of that. So he joined the army at 16 and literally left the house. So, and I left at 17. Sorry, I left at 18. Sorry. So there was 2 years apart, but he left really early. He doesn't know anything other than the army. So, and we were raised by the army in the sense that my dad was very military. I used to bully shoes for him on a Sunday, ready for his parade. It was very militarified, and it's given me my edge, I think, now. So I don't look at it as a negative now. Now I'm 40 and I can control my emotions. But it was interesting growing up. And for that reason, I think the last time, well, there's two occasions. The last time me and my brother drank together and had a party was my 40th birthday last year. And that's the first time he stayed. Now, I didn't stay at my mum and dad's house. He stayed at my mum and dad's. I had a big family party. And towards the end of the evening, AD come up to me and he sort of kind of said, do you want to stay? I want you to stay and drink. I want to chat to my brother. Almost like a reach out, really. But I just kind of chinned off. Not chinned off, that's a horrible word. I just ignored it, And, excuse me, I've still got a bit of a cold. I just kind of ignored it and never really paid much attention to it. And then I think that was a bit of a detriment because I think that was my brother reaching out a little bit to me. And again, consumed last year by depression and all the other shit that comes with mental health. I didn't really acknowledge that. Plus, I was on a high from my birthday. So I didn't really, again, it was a bit of a selfish point of a way to deal with it, if you like. So we carried on. And, got to January, and January is when this started. Podcasts, Bettering Myself, mindfulness, all the really good words, all the buzzwords that we want to hear to promote yourself, be a better person, And he's listened to a few of my podcasts on the way, but I'm conscious to understand that I've never really mentioned much about him because, we hadn't bonded fully, that's the brutal honesty of it. Anyway, come over on Friday, we were drinking, so we had a nice afternoon. We went for a pint, we went for a meal, nice and cheap and cheerful, we're all feeling the struggle. Came back here, played a little bit of gaming, just chilled out. I won't bore you with all the details. But progressed into the evening, had a lovely evening. And then got to about midnight, and, my mate Kieran, he was a bit drunk, had a bit of a funny turn, so he led down. So had a bit of a snooze, and that gave me what transpired to be 5 hours alone with my brother, just talking. Kieran was sleeping, and we sat on the sofa until it got to 5:30 in the morning. We'd done karaoke at 3:30 in the morning, fucking Gangster's Paradise. I got told off by that. The neighbours aren't best pleased because supposedly me and my brother aren't very quiet. It transpires, but I enjoyed it. And do you know what? I think because we were drunk, we did drink 1.5 litres of gin between us, which is quite a big consumption of alcohol. But gin doesn't seem to get me pissed. It's just a merry sort of roller coaster. Doesn't really get a hangover, so I don't mind it. And we sat down and we watched the sunrise. And do you know what? I can't really express the happiness. And this sort of brings me on to a bit of a topic, actually, which is what I want to talk about. And it was really... It was an amazing experience, and I was sat down. We were reminiscing about our past. We were talking about what I've gone through. We were talking about what he's gone through. I was helping him. But do you know the be all and end all of it was that we sat there. I cuddled my brother, and I just said, "I love you, mate." And that was really, really heartwarming for me because we've reached a point in life when the trivial shit doesn't matter anymore. And I said this to him on Friday. Don't worry about the trivial shit. He said he's listened to my podcasts and it's given him food for thought. But I think because he hadn't engaged fully with my journey, and sort of, looked at my journey and thought, oh, maybe I'll jump on that. And I don't mean that in a big-headed way at all. I mean, like, as in, oh, well, let's try and jump along, because I got the impression he doesn't really have a lot to support him, in the sense that he's done a lot of it on his own. And when I talk about what happened to me 7 years ago, he's doing that now. And what I mean by that is he's consuming his fucking life with work. And I said to him, mate, look, you probably heard my podcast. You know that I turned my depression into work ethos, work everything, just fucking work for the man. That's all I'm interested in. I'm not getting extra money. I'm not getting extra fuck all. I'm just going to consume my life for a fucking company. I'm going to bury my mental health for a company. I'm going to feel like shit and fucking, and move away from my family for a fucking company. Now, I never got rewarded at all for going above and beyond. And that's not blowing my own trumpet. I fucking did. And I'm a fucking hard worker. Always have been, always will be. And that's the instill from my father, to give you a little bit of an ethos into my bringing up. We spoke about this between me and my dad. He never really realized what he was doing. But every Saturday he would, pull my wardrobe out, and I would have to refold everything and rehang everything and clean the bedroom before I could do anything. I was woken up regimented every single morning for school, and it became regimented, and that's why I'm like that now. I go to bed at 11 o'clock and I get up at 6 o'clock religiously, and that's what I've always done, because that's what I was used to doing. It's almost, I was almost a little bit institutionalized before I should have been. But then to caveat that, I've given my kids the complete opposite, and I've been fucking shafted in the face just as much as probably I fucking shafted my own fucking parents with the, police at the door or whatever, So does it matter how you raise your children? I don't think we'll ever get it right as a fucking child, as a parent, but you live and learn, don't you? And that's what it was all about. So yeah, we were sat there, and I said to him, we were talking away, and I said to him, mate, look, you're consuming your life, mate. He mentioned somebody in his work, when we were talking, that had 3,000 fucking unopened emails, and I went, do you know why? Because he doesn't fucking care, mate. Because he's still getting paid. He does what he needs to do to get by. He's not stretching himself out, and his family fucking comes first. And I said to Adi, I said, whatever you're going through, bear in mind, he's got a daughter that's got autism, so she is hard work. And I'm saying that in a positive way, because she's an absolutely stunning little girl. She will, she's going to develop and manage it. Do you know what I mean? So from that perspective, but what a lot of people don't see behind the doors is how much, and he was showing me some of the fucking messages. He's got a little family group, and every single morning his daughter texts him saying, have I got everything? Did I forget my PE kit? And you look through, and it's every single morning that she does it. And AD, like, you want to support your children, but at the same time, that repetitiveness fucking consumes you. It's like going in and doing a mundane fucking job every single time. So he's doing that. So he's hiding from those problems to grasp hold of his work, because he knows he can put his fucking headphones on and bury his fucking head in the sand, so to speak. And I mean that in a good way, because it can be consuming. I don't have a disability, so to speak, with my children, but they're hard work. So I can see that. But I said, you're doing it wrong, mate. And luckily we sat down, we had a deep, deep talk. We're talking about fucking everything. We put the worlds to rights. It was a proper man-to-man fucking chat with beer involved, or gin in my case. And it was just a beautiful thing to do. Sat down there and we watched the fucking sunrise. I went to bed at 5:30 and, completely bollocks the next day, both of us. But what I got out of that was an opening to him, as in to help him. And I said to him, look, mate, stop consuming your life with work. Because if you stop consuming your life with work, you'll put more priorities in to the things that matter in life, family and friends, like I'm doing, very much like I'm doing now. And this kind of brings me on to the topic I really want to talk about. And it was really relevant because yesterday, although I had a hangover, I had that same feeling that I had a couple of weeks ago when I went to Cardiff of happiness. Now, what the fuck is happiness? But I had it. I don't know what happiness is, but I had it. Because I'd socialised, because I'd given time to people, and I'm not talking a plethora of fucking friends. I've told you, you all know who my friends are. It's a small handful, literally can count it on 5 people. And that is all that matters to me. Do I want extras? If people want to come along for the journey, but the people that I'm invested in now, the ones I talk to daily, the ones that I open up to, the ones that I want to help through life, they're the ones that matters. Now, Edie's very much, he said, I'm a nightmare with fucking WhatsApp, and I'm a nightmare with this, and I'm a nightmare with this how about app that we're using. And I said to him, you're a nightmare because you're fucking doing the wrong things. That company, when you fucking die, mate, you're nothing to them. You are a fucking number. I have been through the RAF. I was a fucking number. The day I walked out the RAF, I handed my fucking card in onto a fucking SAC's fucking table who'd been in the RAF for about a year. She cut it up in front of me and threw it in the fucking bin. That was my 12 years serving the country. I then went to the fucking Serco and did 10 years for Serco. Consumed my fucking life for them. Literally didn't live at home for 7 straight fucking years because I wanted to put them as a priority rather than going, fuck life, do whatever, my family and friends are more important to me. I didn't. And I pushed every bastard out. So I needed to change that. And my first protocol change was coming back home and acknowledging that my family are amazing. They make me feel happy. And that was my start. That was my go-to, making sure that my immediate family were happy, settled, and fucking loved and protected. That was all that mattered to me. That I changed my priority. I left Serco and I fuck you. And again, I handed my ID card in and my fucking my pass to get on camp. He cut it up and threw it in the fucking bin, in the shredder. That was my fucking life. So I gave 10 years to go. See you later. Never heard from fucking any of them since. Because that is, but at the time I was the bee's knees, best thing since sliced bread. Go home early, fucking James will fucking do it because I lived there. Adie's doing the same, and I said, mate, you've got to stop. You will get fucking time when you stop consuming it for the wrong reasons. When you stop looking at the wrong people, you will get the time to do the things that make you happy. And I phoned him up on Saturday and I said, how do you feel, mate? Are you tired? Are you all right? He was down the allotment doing his veggie patch, looking fucking beautiful because he's engaging in something that makes him happy. And he said, mate, I don't think he said to me, actually, his words were, I feel empty. And I went, oh shit. And he went, no. I feel empty. I don't have any worries. We spoke about everything. You put me on the right course. I said to him, you need to make an effort, mate, now. Talk to me daily. Talk to me weekly. I don't care, but make the effort back again. And I said, I'm going to come and stay with you next time because I want to make that effort. And I said, even if it means going up for a half day, doing a bit of allotment work, because that's his happy place, helping him out. And that's what it's about, helping each other out. And it sort of kind of brings me on really a little bit, because this is where I was on about happiness. And I was thinking, what the fuck is happiness? And for everybody, happiness is different, isn't it? But the thing is with happiness, it has such a huge impact on our life and our well-being and our mental state that we chase it. But what are we chasing? It's happiness, it's a pretty important role in our lives. It can have a massive impact on our lives as well on a daily basis if you're happy. But there's no way to pin down what happiness is. You just have to discover it. It's kind of like, if I reflect back, so I've got it written down actually. Where is it? There it is. So the Oxford Dictionary the Oxford Dictionary's definition of happiness is quite a simple one. And it literally says the state of being happy. Well, that's happiness. But then when you transpire, you look at the Oxford Dictionary's definition for happy, completely different, gives it more context. And you think, well, what's that? Well, look it up in the Oxford Dictionary. It says feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. So already we're in the fucking dictionary looking for the wrong word. We're looking for happiness. Fucking happiness. Tell me what happiness is. We don't know what happiness is. But if you understand what happy is, it gives you a fucking straight insight. You go straight to it. It's basically, the problem is people assume that happiness is like a trait. Oh God, and I've got it. My youngest daughter is fucking happy all the time. Well, of course she's happy. She's 11-year-old. She ain't got a fucking care in the world. She's going to be happy. She doesn't know a lot of negativity. So when you actually pull it in, happiness is just a state. It's just a feeling. It can be long lasting, but at the same time, normally it isn't, because happiness doesn't happen all the time. There'll be days where you can't be happy. You're in fucking work. All right, you can be happy in work, but if you're not 100% happy in your work, then you're not going to have that full feeling of joy. And a lot of the times, and this is probably where I looked at the meaning and I tried to think about how, and I wrote a load of notes down, and I was trying to think of the happiness. It's like, what is that feeling? And as it's been expressed, it's a feeling of contentment, happiness. But it can't be confused with joy or even bliss, because they're in a more intense feeling. Like, say for instance, love. That's an intense feeling of happiness, but that's ecstasy, bliss. It's serotonin overload. But happiness should be just it should be a normal state that you feel. And it sort of kind of made me sort of kind of it's consumed me quite a bit, if I'm brutally honest. And I didn't really know although happiness is not a permanent state, it is more stable than pleasure. Now, pleasure is something you can feel. You could have sex with your partner. That's pleasure, isn't it? That's an instant gratification, satisfaction. But we want it's not a permanent state, but we want to nurture it, don't we? That's what we're looking for. We're trying to nurture happiness. And this is where I can reflect heavily, and I have reflected heavily on my last, 6 months? 5 months. So I've been doing this 5 months now. And I am getting more happy weekends than I've ever had before. And my weekdays, even when I was at the state of absolute fucking death, it felt like, I'm not going to lie to you, felt like death with COVID. I've avoided it for 10.5 years, fucking got it back in 1990, mate, completed it, dickhead. I said, but for me, happiness, it was the COVID just consumed me. But even when I had that feeling and I was rough as fuck and I didn't want to do anything, and I had the right people messaging me daily. I had my friends messaging me daily. How you feeling, Jimbo? How's things, mate? Fucking spreading the Rona. Little bit of banter involved. Every single day, even though I felt like shit and I was having lions because I couldn't fucking get up, I was waking up to voice messages. So I was feeling happy. Though I was physically ill, I was hanging out my backside, but emotionally I was happy because I had people looking after me at my lowest point. Now, I've not had that for years. I have not had that. And it is a terrible thing not to have. And I slapped myself when I was talking to my brother and I was deep in conversation with him. He said to me, I look up to you, mate, so fucking much. He said, almost like a negative in a sense. And I don't mean this horribly, because he says you're so fucking talented and you do this and this and this. And I'm like, I don't do the things I do to be talented. I don't do them for that. I never have done. And that's the problem. I could turn my skills into something, but I don't want to, because I don't want the pressure of doing that skill fucking day in, day out, because I don't want it to kill that enjoyment. And I've recognised that when I've done things, now, when I used to paint cars, I used to paint fucking everything and anything for everybody, because I saw the monetary value in it. So I'd be painting fucking cars. I'd sprayed a Mini one night, prepped it, next night fucking primed it, next night fucking top coated it on my own, a whole fucking Mini, the full shebang, full respray, for was it 450 quid. Now that's a blowover in fucking civvy streets, £2,500. Now that's because I enjoyed it. I wanted to learn the process, and plus I was challenging myself. Have you ever sprayed a car before? Now I reflect back to years ago, and I bought my sister a Vauxhall Nova. And it was her first car. Shed of the fucking week, if you ask me. But I took it into work and I sprayed it. So I primed it, prepped it, took it all back, looked after it, and sprayed it pink. But I don't know why. I thought it'd be fucking cool, but she didn't like it. It ended up going in someone's fucking front garden being filled with soil and fucking flowers. That's fine. But for me, I watched this guy called Bobby Law, an old painter of mine, and I did look up to him. He was quite overweight, but really, really good lie. And believe it or not, I used to play badminton and all sorts with him. And even though he was quite overweight, he's the most flexible guy I've ever fucking met. You play squash with a bastard, mate. You fucking run me around for rings. But there is a skill to that, I've realised, and you just fucking smash it off the sides and watch me run around like an idiot. But I watched him that day. He was spraying my car, and I said, "Oh, do you want to can you help me spray the car?" And he went, because I'd never sprayed a car. It was my first spray job. And he went, he said, "Do you want to do this bit in here, and I'll spray the car for you?" So I prepped his car because we were working the weekend. And I was prepping his bit, and he carried on spraying. I took the easy route out. I was a newbie, didn't really know what I was doing. But I watched him spray this fucking car on his own and get it pristine. And I was like, fucking in awe. I was like, I want to be able to do that one day. And I did. And that's where it got to. I was constantly challenging myself, constantly keeping myself alive. But at the same time, anyway, back to what I was saying. I've kind of reflected back to those moments and the happiness and what I was doing, and my brother kind of was the same. He's doing the same similar things. I feel that he's a little bit low at the moment. I feel he's a little bit alone, but at the same time, I know that he wanted to move to my location around my sort of area a couple of years ago, but I think I just didn't engage with him. I just did not really. I just went, yeah, that'd be fucking cool, but never really gave it the fucking proper, I'm trying to think of the word. I never gave it the commitment that it deserved. Commitment I give to people now. It was almost sporadic. Like for instance, classic example, a friend of mine, or Billy's on the show right now, all right, mate. I was meant to go around and see him today, and I felt fucking shit that I couldn't go around and see him because I didn't want to chin him off. And I meant in a good way, not in a bad way. I meant it as in, I wanted that kind of interaction, understand what he's been up to, because it's almost like a drug, happiness, isn't it? You almost, that's the problem, because it's like a drug. You chase it. If you've had years of depression, you've had years of loneliness, when you get that happy state, you chase it. And I did that all the way through, but I was chasing the wrong fucking things. So it was all short-term happiness. Short-term this. I'd get a quick fix. Brilliant. That'd do me for a fucking couple of weeks. Then I'd slump into a low. And then I'd fucking move on and go, oh, God, I need to do something else. What fucking crazy shit can I do? And I'd go and do it. I'd get a short buzz. And that's it. That was what I've done for 10 years to get through depression, is looking for the little wins. Now, I'm survived. I'm here. So it can work. But it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for your mental health, because you will just constantly... You will keep taking from the happy tank, and it will keep turning into negativity. That negativity, as I've transpired, it goes on longer and longer and longer. So what you might find a short-term fix for a week, and then brilliant, and then the weekend comes, you might find another short-term fix, but that didn't fill my happiness tank quite as much. So I'm going to go another week now before I can do something else that's going to top it up. Well, that's another week of the fucking, the negative sort of kind of depression tanks being filled. And it's always that shit and money bucket, isn't it? A lot of the times I was doing a bit of contracting work a couple of years ago, and I remember that I went across and spoke to a guy, and he was earning shitloads of money in Saudi Arabia, and I said, fucking, how do you put up with it, mate? How do you do this shit job out here? And he went, well, I get a shit ton of money, so whichever bucket fills up first depends on when I leave, and it's the shit bucket. And the fucking, how much shit can you take from the Saudi Arabians for doing all their fucking changes and working in their sort of mythology, if you like, and how they want to run things compared to, say, the United Kingdom, because we do run things completely different. But when your money buckets fill, hopefully that fills up first and you can fuck off before it really, really sort of cripples you. But to give you a little bit of context of how much that doesn't work and reinforce how much those short wins aren't sustainable, the guy that I spoke to, and he was out in Saudi Arabia, he was saving up. He was earning, I think he was earning something like £6,000-7,000 a month. And then every 3 months he used to get, after 2 years, he used to get £10,000 bonus every 3 months for staying out there even longer. And then he used to get a £20,000 bonus extra at the end of the year for doing a year. That's how much, this ridiculous money in Saudi. ridiculous fucking money. So he passed away. So I saw him 3 years ago, and he passed away 2 weeks ago from cancer in Saudi Arabia. Never got home. He never fully came home. All his stuff was there. He came back for care 2 weeks before he passed away. So what was the fucking point? He spent years away from his fucking family. He spent years away from his wife to save up for what? He had a couple of holidays in between, but he was like, I'm doing a bathroom this year. And his house was fucking beautiful. He had a massive house in the middle of nowhere, so it was proper rural. It was beautiful. He showed me the photos. His daughter had a fucking horse. His fucking missus had a horse. He had a nice car. He had all of it, didn't he? And how many times have I said to you, how many times have I said on podcasts, from the outside, it looks fucking amazing. But nobody looks inside, do they? Nobody physically sits there and goes, what's it like inside? Do they? When you actually get into, and I've got friends that have all told me, it looks good from the outside. Well, he's the same. He put up with shit for years and years and years to have this amazing lifestyle, never enjoyed it. Not one fucking penny. Not one penny did he enjoy. So his wife now has got pristine fucking house, got his ex-RAF pension, got his payout from BAE. So she's absolutely fucking singing in it. And all right, she's lost her partner, but when you reflect on the fact that he used to go home every 4 months, once for 1 week every 4 months, he used to go home, and he did that for 7 years. That's not a lot of time with your wife, is it? Do you know what I mean? You're going to come back, you're going to do the deed, and then you're going to get plugged into a little bit more DIY and all the other stuff. So he's wasted his life looking for the fucking big win. But we can't do that. Happiness is not permanent. So we need to manipulate it for our own. I was trying to find a way to describe this. We need to manipulate it for what works for us. Now, for instance, photography. I want to get started back into photography. I feel it's the right place for me now. I feel in the right place where I can walk around with a camera and take some shots. I used to be a professional photographer years ago, gave it up because it didn't make me happy anymore. In actual fact, it did make me happy. I was in a shit place. So I'm trying to find the ways to make it so that I can be happy for longer periods. Yes, we go to work. Yes, we do mundane lives. Yes, our partners fuck us off. Yes, our kids drag shit through the door. We understand that, don't we? But that's the mundane part of life. And Kieran, for instance, he's going through his own little bits, and we've spoke quite a lot about this. He's going through his own little family issues, and he wasn't going to come round on Friday. And I said to him, don't put your fucking life on hold for your kids. Don't let it consume you. They're on their own fucking path, mate. Just do what you can to keep them safe. Provide a safe place for them. That's all you can do. Literally, there's nothing else you can do. You'll stress yourself out by it. Just try to keep them as happy as you can, but without stressing yourself out. He came over and had a fucking amazing night. We put the world straight. We spoke about our own family issues. We spoke about women and fucking our partners, and we put the world straight. What men should do is very much. I spoke about on the live podcast, and I was saying about how important it is for men to have somebody to interact with and unload. And that's what happened to my brother. Kieran unloaded, literally had an amazing time, and then fell asleep. Probably exhausted for the fact of he could finally relax, finally get away from it all in a safe place over here, talking with the boys. And my brother did the same. We chatted for 5 hours. We went for a walk at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, the fucking birds are tweeting, and we came back, he fucking fell over on the pavement and nearly smashed his face on the fucking pavement, but picked him up, brushed him down, came back, but like I say, a bit of karaoke and all the other good stuff. But he felt, and I reflect back when he said to me he felt empty. And I was like, empty, mate, it's not a good fucking feeling. He's like, no, I've got no worries, mate. I felt connected to my brother, and I feel I can talk to you. And that was the progression that we needed as a brothers. Because I do value my brother a lot, just as much as I value all of my friends, and I truly, truly do. It also to the point where even when this is how much I think about my friends. I don't post a lot, but I post memories on my Facebook. But I'm consumed when I do that because I see people liking it, and all I see is oh, I wanted to invite them, or I want them to come over, or I want to fucking see them, because I feel shit doing it, because I'd love to have a fucking party here every fucking weekend. It's not practical, but I'd love to have a party every weekend and get us all together, because I know that the people around me that like my personality will all like each other's, because it's just the way we go. Because you try to hang around with the right people, and this is what I talk about when I'm thinking about sort of manipulating and nurturing happiness in my own life. I've done that all through this last 5 months with mindfulness, with reflection time. Here I am on a Sunday, even to the point where I was trying to do podcasts with COVID, because this is my happiness. This is what I enjoy. And trying to think about things that get like different sports. And I spoke to my brother and I was like, mate, we need to go camping, just to fucking go somewhere, sit in a fucking field, stare at the stars under a fucking little bonfire, and just chew the fat and have a good time. Because that's what it was about. I think it wasn't about the drinking. It wasn't about, the fact that he came round. It was the fact that we could open up and we could talk about the shit that stresses him out, the shit that stresses me out. But it's a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? It's an old saying, but a problem shared is a problem halved. And that is what I was trying to explain to him. And it's a bit of a difficult one, I understand. And you can almost say, oh, fucking hell, what? We all have different levels of happiness. But when you find the right thing for you and you find what you enjoy, and if you do something that you do enjoy, then make a note of that. Take a note of what you've done and make sure that you plan purposely to do it again. Give yourself something to look forward to. If it's spending time with somebody, invite them fucking round, but be blunt about it. Dude, come round, or, let's go for a fucking cup of coffee. Let's go for a beer. Let's do so. When I was sat in that fucking Wetherspoons, looking over, chatting to my brother, looking over the thing, just talking shit, watching people going by, and I hadn't felt happier in a long time. And we were talking about our childhood, and I was talking about, I was talking about all of my friends, and I was like, mate, I've got some fucking amazing friends. And he was like, yeah, I don't really, 80s, he's got a lot of friends, but not friends you can open up to. And that's what the particularly important bit for me is, it's being able to open up and express my feelings, because I'm an honest person. I do suffer, although I'm quite loud and everybody see me and on the piss and like, fuck how he can't have fucking depression, he can't have PTSD, and I get that a lot. I 100% do, because it's a silent illness. It's not something I don't wear a fucking flag, saying fucking PTSD, look out for me. But at the same time, the people that I know, the people that I trust, will know my ailments. They'll know my illness, because I want them to know. I want them to know, not so that they treat me differently, because that's the worst thing you can fucking do, but so that they can recognize when things are going wrong. They can see me out of character. Now, it might be for something to do with my mental health. Like, I know for a fact that I'm going to be a bit low in the next couple of days. I will do, because I've had an amazing weekend, and I've reflected heavily on this weekend. I've reflected heavily on Cardiff. I even put a fucking photo up on Facebook of the Clock and Balls, my bar, and how many amazing memories I've already had in the year that, since COVID has been fucking released, although clearly it hasn't. People coming around and making those fucking amazing memories, and I those photos are now going to go up on the bar, and they're going to be the ones that you come down, we have a guest list, and we enjoy each other's company. We sit in a bar, we do some karaoke, and we fucking have a good time in a safe, happy environment that's not costing you £12 a pint. But that's important to do, and I don't think we do it enough. I really don't. I don't think that people are honest enough. They should be. Obviously, bearing in mind not to be an arsehole. No one wants to be honest and actually hurt feelings. That's not what it's about. But if you're struggling, or if you're not feeling great, or you're not feeling happy, is it because of something that's going wrong in your life? Is it because of a change that you want to make but don't know how to make it? Because all of these things can be helped when you talk with somebody and you say, right, mate, my brother, like you said, he was sat there and I was like, I out and out said to him, your fucking job is consuming you, mate. It is making you a different person. You're not engaging with your fucking family as much because you're wanting to just consume it in work. Work is your priority and it shouldn't be your priority. And then he saw on Friday what it was like to be happy. He actually saw that. He came and he engaged and he spent time with people that he's got a history with. But not only that, he sees a future with. And that was really important to me. It was so invaluable to get that out of that conversation. And, for me personally, I'm finding my happiness. Yes. It's peaks and troughs with anything with mental health is peaks and troughs. And I say mental health, I've spoke about this and I don't say mental health a lot, actually. I said it a lot today, but I try to use mental illness because I am trying to get those categories. I like the way those categories are presented to me: mental health, mental illness, mental injury. Now, for me, mine was a mental injury into a mental illness now because it's prolonged. But for me, mental health is the thing that we can do ourselves. We can take that time to reflect. We can take that time to engage with our friends, the ones that make us happy. It's nice to talk to as many people as you can, of course, because you can, I think my missus was saying the other day yesterday, we were talking we went back into time, and she was saying about how we were talking about how the girls make friends quite easily. My girls are quite open. They can talk to anybody. I've always nurtured them to do that. I've said to them, whenever they want something, go and ask the fucking woman where it is. Just get them interacting with adults. So it builds their confidence up. And it's worked. They'll go and engage with friends. Now, my missus was on the beach once and she went down and took the kids. I was at work and I was at work because I was fucking working my ass off because I never fucking left the place. But she was sat there and the girls went and made friends. And now the kids that they made friends with had a dad and he could have been a single parent or whatever. Now, my missus turned around and she said, yeah, and I turned myself and read my book, thought, fucking, I don't want to make any more fucking friends. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. So she blocked herself out of it. Now, I looked at the double-edged sword on that. Maybe he needed someone to talk to. All right, yeah, he might have been coming over for a flirt. Maybe. I don't know. But you'll never know until you talk to these people. My missus always says to me, you talk to everybody, James. And I'm like, because there might be something I'll get out from that person that I would never have got out of if I'd have just walked by. And that there's plenty of times the evidence has proven, even friends I talk to on a daily basis are friends because I spoke to them, because I've engaged with them, because I was open with them and honest with them. They became my friends. And I think that we're so consumed in life by people that there's so many bastards out there. And there's so many backstabbers that want to screw you over that to find somebody who wants to be honest about everything, and I am, if you fucking hurt me, I'll tell you. If you upset me, I'll tell you. Because I'd rather I told you and we could deal with it and then move on than fester and then I just don't fucking talk to you again. And then you're like, what have I done fucking wrong? Prime example is a good friend of mine, Larry, just stopped talking to me. No explanation about why he stopped talking to me. Because he's not given me the opportunity to rectify that if I've done something wrong at all. Or is he just on a different path? I think it's a bit Jack. We've known each other for fucking 7 years. Still affects me though. And that's because of the honesty factor. Now I'm really, really honest. I have to be. And what that has done and I've only started recently. I've not been honest all my life, but I'm honest about everything in terms of how I'm feeling, my emotions, and just being honest about everything in life. Yeah, you can tell the odd white lie and all the other good stuff. But to be honest with somebody, it promotes happiness because you feel safe, you feel trusted. And trust is what is about everything. Relationships, friendships are about trust. If you break that trust, and trust me, I've had someone recently do that to me. And I completely shut them out of my fucking life because I lost trust in that person. Because that person treated me like utter shit after I invested a year in their life trying to turn their life around. They treated me like I was a disposable piece of shit and spoke to me like I was a disposable piece of shit. Now, I've just gone, fuck you then. That's how honest I am. If you're going to treat me like that, I don't want you in my life because I wouldn't dream about doing that to you. And I genuinely don't like hurting people. As much as that is sort of kind of contradictory from my last 10 years when I've gone through depression, but that wasn't me wanting to hurt people. That was my mental illness wanting to hurt people. There is such a significant difference in people that have mental health problems, mental illness problems, and mental injury problems. There is such a big difference even on all three of those categories. Mental health can be I'm in a shit relationship, or I'm in a shit job, or I'm overworking myself. So you're going to make yourself fucking depressed if you keep doing that. But you can stop that quite early. You can certainly acknowledge it and try and rectify it. Admittedly, some people don't have the strength to do that, and that's why we have an epidemic with mental health, because people don't know how to pull themselves out of that. We are in a fast-paced world at the moment. There's a lot of uncertainty with, consumer prices going through the fucking roof and everything else. So we're all dealing with stress, more stress than probably any of us have ever dealt with in our lifetimes. I certainly am. I'm in a fucking good job, fairly well-paid job, and I'm struggling sometimes. If you have a free weekend, that's it. That's you fucking consumed. And that shouldn't be that way. The whole diversity of life is stressful enough. And I saw this fucking thing actually earlier on. And as a gentleman, he put down that there should be a law that proves if you have rent and prove that you pay your rent at £1,100 for 12 months, the bank should say he can obviously afford a £750 mortgage. So let's give him a house. Let's get him off this fucking overloaded, fucking high price rental property. Let's remove some of that stress and let's fucking get him a house. So he feels comfortable. He's got something to achieve and work towards, hasn't he? But we haven't done that. So we're dealing with stress all the fucking time. All the time. It's consuming. So how do we stop that? Well, if you can't take the stress away immediately, because it's for whatever reason, like you said, you're in a job, it's a high-end job, you're struggling, whatever, but you can always have a word with your manager. You can always say, there's no harm in saying I'm struggling a little bit. We all are human beings. We're not fucking robots. But what you can do is be open and honest to the people around you that you trust and love. Be honest. If you're struggling, and I might talk to one of my friends and go, mate, I'm fucking struggling with this. And they turn around and go, oh, mate, yeah, I know how to do that. Or, yeah, mate, I know someone who's fucking done this. He went to such and such. That's it. That's a problem shared. That's a problem halved. Already I'm happy. I'm going to go down that route. Or someone might say to me, let's go and do this. And I'll go, fuck it, let's give it a go. Go there. I might fucking hate it and go, thanks very much, mate. Love the offer. Great day spending time with you. Not my fucking bag, mate. Be honest. But however, do you want to try this? This is the fucking thing that floats my boat. And he might turn around and go, I fucking hate it. Or he might turn around and go, that's fucking amazing. We need to book that in again next month. Because we don't do that. Do you know, we sit there like shooting. Hey, there we go, mate. Nice. Exactly. Prime example there, Billy. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. I was fucking amazing and you were jealous. That was fucking, no, but the thing is, I haven't shot since the last time I went shooting when I was 30. So it was 10 years ago. I looked at the photos and I was fucking awful. Hit one target. Never, because I was shit and I'm a very competitive person, I went, fuck that. I'm not doing that again because that's quite an expensive sport for me to try and learn properly. So I just fucking chinned it off. Prime example, as you said, Billy. I came along with Billy. I turned up fashionably late. I didn't want to, I've got to leave him on edge. You know what I mean? I don't want to fucking fruity him up too early. But we went shooting and I had a fucking amazing, he taught me well, told me, because the guy that I went with last time didn't tell me where to fucking shoot. It was just like, yeah, you need to like kind of shoot. But the way that it was interpreted, I was learning from the baseline up. I was being taught by somebody who cared about the sport and cared about me and went, I'm going to fucking shoot. I'm going to show you how to do this, mate. That's how you do it. Bosh, bosh, bosh. And it was natural. I fucking loved it. And then that transpired into going back and fucking drinking and doing fucking YouTube karaoke again. It promoted another amazing occasion. The same as fucking Nelly on the fucking show. Went down to the fucking down to the beach. We haven't done it again. We need to lock this in. And pitched up with the most amazing bacon sandwiches and fucking everything. And we had a great fucking couple of hours. We had a nice stroll, putting the world to rights, because that's what it's about. It's just that mindfulness. Helped him out. And then that transpired into him coming around here, and we had a fucking amazing party. He got absolutely battered. It's absolutely off his rocker. But we had an amazing time, and it created an amazing memory to the point where I've got a smile on my face just reflecting on those two occasions. That is how important it is. That to me is happiness. I've looked for happiness. I've chased happiness. I've gone, happiness is doing fucking wakeboarding. Happiness is trying to do a backflip. It ain't fucking gazeboed, mate. You were bungalowed, mate. Absolutely gazeboed, mate. But for me, personally, I've chased happiness. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was fucking drinking. I thought it was fucking whatever, women, whatever it was. Fucking cars, motorbikes. I've chased it all. I've had it all. You look from the outside in and you think that I'm fucking winning. You know, it's like even my fucking bar. To me, it's just a bar stroke office stroke lounge. Okay, it's a man cave. But to me, it's got everything I do inside it. But the best thing I get out of this is the people that come round and interact with me and spend time with me. And we create memories because, you know, the people that are around me aren't arseholes. The people that are around me just want fun and happiness. I've opened myself massively to engaging more, making more of an effort with these people. I talk to people on a daily basis because I want it to be routine. I've told you, when you do something for 3 months, it then becomes routine. You have to stick to it. You have to stay focused with it. If you don't, it just subsides. This is the problem when you do something once and you might have a good experience, but if you don't do it again, it doesn't become routine, doesn't become habit. And then that's where a lot of my friendships I've just lost because I stopped engaging with them. They stopped engaging back with me and I lost that part of my element of my life. And that didn't help my depression. My depression, if anything, just fucking spiraled out of control because I didn't know who to turn to. And then in the end, I got bitter, twisted and angry. And that's what consumed me for 10 years was anger. Because I was like, and I was bitter at everybody else that I thought they dumped me. It's like, fuck all of yous. In actual fact, it's a two-way street, guys. It's a two-way street. You've got to give as much as you get. Otherwise, it's not a fair fucking relationship, friendship. It's how everything works in life. When you're not splitting your relationship or friendship down 50-50 and making the effort 50-50, it's going to subside because if it's even 60-40, okay, that might last a little bit longer than normal. Not as much as 50-50, but you start encroaching on, that'll turn to 70-30 because that person will now even care less because you're engaging less, and it becomes a double-edged sword. You actually lose talking to people and engaging with them, lose their friendship massively purely because of stubbornness or laziness. That's what it boils down to. I'm not a lazy person, and lazy is quite a strong word, but I'm not meaning it in that you lazy bastard, fucking do something, you're a fucking piece of shit. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is people get consumed with laziness as in they might have a natural lazy ability. Say, for instance, Kieran. He's an absolute fucking diamond of a guy. Everything I invite him to, he would say yes. Would he invite me to something? No. Because he doesn't. He's openly said, I'm lazy, man. I don't know. I go home at weekends and now, in a normal friendship, if he'd have been saying no every time I said something, that would have subsided. That certainly wouldn't have lasted 28 fucking years. But we've given and taken in our own friendships. Now, 28 years sounds like it is a fucking long time. But at the same time, I don't like anybody out. Well, you know, it's a difference. I like everybody equally. All of my friends mean the same. I treat everybody equally. Now, he obviously, because of my life and how long I've been with him, we've got a lot of memories, and that's what bolsters your friendships and your relationships are the good memories. So I know for a fact that by talking to these people, talking to my friends, like daily, and going out and doing things with them and going and fucking staying with them or doing whatever, we're creating memories. Now, with that memory brings happiness. What does happiness promote? Just promotes well-being, doesn't it? So I'm now going to start chasing that with that person and go, let's fucking do that again. When you start saying no, obviously that starts degrading, and that's where friendships subside. Like I said, me and Kieran haven't done that. He's always said yes. So we've got a plethora of fucking good memories, a lot of bad memories, don't get me wrong. Like with any friendship, it stands the test of time, doesn't it? But the more good memories that you have, they outweigh the bad ones. So you might have a bad night. There might be a night where we get pissed up and I act like a dick, or he acts like a dick. But you put it to bed because it's by the by, providing you don't fucking physically hurt each other. But there's times where we shout at each other. I've fucking called him a dick, and I think I did actually fucking slap him about fucking 6 years ago in town because he was absolutely pissed out of his tree, and he was being a fucking knob, and I just fucking slapped him. But that was a depression. That was me. That was my go-to. Bush, fucking have it, mate. But we're still here, and this is why I purposely engage with my friends, all of my friends equally, as much as I can. Because I want to create those memories that will underpin our friendship and make our friendship stronger. It's a known fact that if you have a friendship for 7 years or more, it's a lifetime. That's the point. So if you can get to 7 years with that person, it's like a fucking relationship, isn't it? You will get the 10-year itch and all that sort of shit. That's probably why relationships nowadays don't last as long, because they're fleeting. They're 2 or 3 years and you fucking move on. Whereas old school relationships were long term, most of the people I've been friends with have all been relationships for fucking years. I mean, 20 odd years for me. So, but that's working at it. The friendship is no different to a relationship. You have to work at things. Sometimes you might not be. Say, for instance, prime example, again, I've got so many examples, it's amazing. But, Billy earlier on, when I couldn't go and see him, all right, rightfully so, my dog's fucking jumped off the bed and smashed his fucking ligaments and it broke my fucking heart, if I'm brutally honest, because he was yelping every time he put pressure on it. He couldn't lie on one side. I didn't know what to fucking do. I had a vet clout feed to come and just tell me, put my mind at rest, because he is 9-year-old. He is getting on a bit. They only live till about 11, 12 at best. So he's getting to the point where these injuries will start becoming more regular. I'm looking at changing his diet for a more raw food diet, which is going to cost me more money because it's going to give him more protein, because it's give him bigger muscles and help him. So I'm investing in him. But that broke my heart, really did. And I didn't know I was meant to go around fucking Billy's for, Dr. Pepper, which was, I wanted that to interact and just say, fucking, how you been, mate? How you getting on? But I let him down and I didn't want to do that. But he openly come back and said, make priorities. He's a dog man as well, so understands fully. But that's friendship. That's working at it. And I'll make the effort then to provide the Dr. Pepper and go and see him during the week. And this is why I messaged everyone individually this morning whilst I was on my happy high, saying, let's lock some fucking dates in, people. Let's lock some stuff in. Let's start engaging a little bit more. Get you out of your fucking shell. But like I said, it's a two-way fucking streak. Happiness is a two-way streak. But it works, though. All of this journey that I've spoken to you about has worked. It has worked for me. And I know for a fact it can work for you, because I'm a stubborn bastard. I was in so far deep in depression that to go from where I was in December, and all of my good friends will know where I was in December, to where I am now and what I'm doing now, I would never have seen myself in Cardiff socialising. Absolutely never have seen that. I didn't think that was ever going to happen again. I wouldn't have. Everything has been nurtured, and it's getting me to the point where I want more. I am chasing it now. But what I'm chasing is me coming out of my shell, me coming out of this fucking barricade that I have put myself in for 10 years. I have put myself in a cage and gone, fuck all of yous. And that's a horrible fucking place to be. It's a horrible place to be. But for me, I'm looking after those people around me because they make me happy. And I'm engaging with happiness all the time. I want to be this. I love this feeling of happiness. I love this feeling. As my brother rightly put it, I feel empty because I've let everything go. I've not been in work for a week and a half, and tomorrow I'm going back in. And I'm like, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for that fucking, because I've had a good weekend, and I know that I've got some good stuff coming up. So I'm ready for it. It's just a fucking boring week. Get through it. Mundane as fuck. When are we doing something next, guys? Because we have to work to be able to play, because that's what provides us with the funds to go and play. So that's an understandable experience. But at the same time, don't let it compromise your life. Don't let work and silly little things consume you. And always, always talk to people that are your friend. This is why this is called the gentleman's talk, because it's talking. It's me being open. It's me being honest. I love being honest. I've got some, like I said, I've got some valuable, valuable friends in my life that I don't personally want to let go, because they've transformed me. This is, although I said I've done this in the last fucking, 5 months, I haven't done it on my own. Absolutely not. That's a selfish thing to say, James. I've done it with the people around me. They make me happy. I can make myself happy, but it's short term. I proved that to you. I proved it by 10 years doing it on my own, trying to make myself happy. Going wakeboarding on your own. I went to Iceland on my own. Why? Because I thought that's what I wanted. So I saw the Northern Lights because my life ambition was to get a photograph of the Northern Lights. That is all I wanted to do as a photographer. I said, I don't care about anything else. Done all the fucking shit. I'm good at photography, but I want the Northern Lights. Who enjoyed that with me? Who enjoyed that experience with me? Nobody. Nobody watched the fucking dancing purple, orange and green fucking light rays spooning through the fucking sky at 3 o'clock in the morning with a 7 o'clock in the morning flight. Nobody. Last day. Nobody experienced that fun with me. And that's the horrible bit. That's the horrible state. When you look back at my last 10 years, everything I did was on my own. And I'm not just saying that for fucking sympathy. I did everything on my own. And even to the point now where my missus goes to me, why don't you go wakeboarding? Because it makes you happy. And I don't want to do it on my own, darling. I'm sick to death of doing things on my own. I want these experiences with people. I don't want to go to a wakeboarding fucking lake on Friday or a random day on my own. Take a fucking selfie. Take a photo of the lake. Here I am. Get a couple of fucking likes. Go around the fucking, the fucking, I can't remember what it's called. Cable. That's the one I'm looking for. Go around the cable. Staring at who? Who's watching you, mate? No one gives a fuck about you. Where's your friends? Who's enjoying you? You done a backflip? What do you fucking do? Well, who's there to enjoy it? Nobody. I'm not sharing that memory. I'm not sharing that experience. I'm doing it alone. And I don't want sympathy. But what I want is people to understand it's not healthy. Do things with people. They make your life better. Don't be scared to promote your happiness. Because if people that are truly around you that want to see you happy will follow you, like you, support you, if they want to see you happy. The day they drop that off and the day that they stop doing that and interacting with you and saying, fucking proud of you, mate, well done, buddy, because we all need fluffing up. We all need that. We all need a fucking well done. How many times have you been in a job where you've done an amazing job and someone will just go, thanks, James. Well, that's not what I wanted, mate. I don't want a wind band, mate. Do you know what I mean? A whole fucking percussion. I don't want any of that. But I want someone to go, fucking hell, mate. That's a fucking sterling job. You've proper gone above and beyond. Give it a little bit of context. How many times have you walked into work and done something and no one's given you that fucking accolade? No one's given you that understanding. And that just bites. And then that turns into fucking negativity, doesn't it? That turns into you going, fucking, I've had enough of this fucking job. No one appreciates me. That's why I purposely said thank everybody. I thank my boss. That's how nice I am. I say thanks this week, Chris. Enjoy your weekend. And I say it religiously. Even if I mean it fucking sarcastically because he's a prick. He's not, but even if I did. It's nice to hear things. It's nice to feel needed. Men don't feel fucking needed. They feel needed when it's relevant, when there's a DIY project, or take something like earlier on, take something to the fucking skip. Can you do this, James? Can you do? I'm a computer fucking whiz. I'm a fucking DIY whiz. I'm a mechanic. I'm a fucking painter. I'm a fucking plumber. I'm an electrician. I am everything you fucking need me to be. But nobody says fucking thank you. all it takes is, fucking mate, you've made my life easier there, to make me feel nice, to make me want to do it again. And that's the importance. When you don't get the praise, either be honest and go, I'm a little bit fucked off, you didn't do that, which I've done. And my last boss, it bit me in the arse. He actually turned around to me and said, what do you do that's different to other site managers? And I went into a whole fucking field of things, and he stood there and went, and I looked at him and went, so fucking chew on that. And I walked out of his office, and he came back out about 10 minutes later, called me back into his office and massively apologized, because he knew he was a prick, because I do go above and beyond. And everyone that I know that's in my little group go above and beyond. But have any of them been praised? I fucking doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. And that just harbours negativity. Now, I can't change that in employment. I can't change that. But what I can do is, I can guarantee you right now, if you told me you'd done something, or you'd been to some sport, or you've done something, I will always say fucking well done. Proud of you. Great fucking job. Because you want to hear it. I don't even care if you don't want to say you want to hear it. You want to fucking hear it. I want to fucking hear it. And that's just, like I said, I reflect back. I don't do things because I do things to make other people happy. So for me personally, I've got all this shit around me. It means nothing unless people are enjoying it with me. If somebody says, can I have something? Or can you make me one of those? Abso-fucking-lutely. If you let me do my own thing on it and don't dictate to me what I want to do, because that's one thing I can't do, because you've removed that creativity from me, and I'm a creative person. If you remove that creativity, which a couple of people have done in the past, I'll just say fuck off. And it will sit there. Even my parents have said to me, can you do this? They asked me to do a cheese board for my auntie, and it took me fucking 3 months to do it, as in to start it, because they wanted something specific. And I went, so after 3 months, I went, do you want me to do this specifically? They were like, oh, no, just do something along this lines, because they wanted it to say, I fucking love cheese. I just want that text in it. So I was like, oh, so I can be creative. Fucking on it. I'd done it in 2 hours and then took it into the next day. That's what I'm like, because I want them to feel my creativity, because I think that is what I deserve to. Once you've worked tirelessly to be good at something, and I did. I spent 21 years being creative, and I was suppressed massively by my last employment, and to the point where the only way I could be creative was to do it on the sly. You know, I couldn't do it openly. So for me, that was hard work. And that's why and part of me why I struggle now in health and safety, because there's absolutely fuck all creativity in health and safety. Everybody fucking hates you. But at the same time, I'm a bit of a power trip guy, and I like to walk in and be a bit of a power trip guy. But at the same time, I'm learning now, going back to the happiness aspect of this, I'm getting better. And I'm wanting to do more, and I'm wanting to engage with people more. And that's because of this journey, this last 5 months. I've turned my life around in 5 months. There is nothing to say you can't do that. There is nothing to say you can't make a change. All right, some changes can't happen overnight. If it's a relationship, if it's a fucking friendship, if it's a fucking employment thing, it's not going to happen overnight. But if you make the step to make that fucking change, or work on the friendship relationship to make the change, it will change for the better. You have to be honest. You have to be open. And things will change. If you're having a shit time in work, walk up to your boss and go, I fucking don't like what you've done there, mate. And let them know. Tell them they've done this wrong. If they're still an arsehole, you're in the wrong fucking place, because nothing's going to fucking change. Move on, find another job. People say there's no jobs out there. I've never seen so many fucking jobs out there, if I'm brutally honest. Make that change. I changed completely at 40. I hit 40. I changed everything about me. And then I sat down in January and went, sort your fucking life out, James. You're being a dick. You can't rely on medication anymore, mate. You have to make the change. You have to want the change. And I did. And I've taken those steps. I've removed the people that were negative in my life, that are not engaging with me. I appreciate that, mate. Nelly, you've come a fucking long way as well, mate. And like I said, mate, you know, it's about that change. It's about that change very much so. It's if you don't acknowledge it, if you sit and just dwell in your shit, your own self-pity like I did for 10 fucking years, if you sit and dwell in that, sit in your pool of shit and think that you're going to get out of it from a tablet will function. You will be able to function. I've taken a tablet for 4 years. It makes me function. But for 3 years, fuck all changed. I was able to get up, do my job, go home. That's all I was able to do. I've got no feelings. I've still got no feelings. That's why I don't get emotional. When I do get emotional, it shocks the fuck out of me. I did have a cry a couple of months ago because I felt happy, because I hadn't felt overwhelming happiness for a long time. It's now becoming more and more. It's becoming an obsession, but a nice obsession. It's becoming the fact that I can unload with people. I can go and talk to people. I can say, how the fuck are you doing, mate? It's so important. And I've turned my life round because I had to sit there, stare at the fucking mirror and go, what are you doing with your life, mate? You can be whatever the fuck you want to be. What are you doing? Don't chase the fucking dream. Make the dream. That's as simple as that. And if you don't fucking make the dream, you're just going to sit in your own self-pity for longer and longer and longer, and it's not going to go away. No one's going to drag you out of this no one's going to come up to you and fucking grab you by the scruff of the neck and go, fucking get up. They might do. I would probably do that. Grab you up and say, sort your fucking life out. But that doesn't work. We've spoke about this. Man up doesn't work. You can assist people until they want to do it themselves. When they want to do it themselves, watch them fucking change. Watch them make the difference. And then you'll be sat by their side, smiling and having a good time with that fucking person. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Look at me. Prime example. Mindfulness, well-being, cold water therapy, fucking reflection time, doing something you enjoy, talking about my own mental health, which has consumed me for 10 years. And I'm talking about it. Here. It's here. It's not fucking going anywhere. Deal with it. What can you do? And yes, I'm going to get bad days. Fuck, we all get bad days. And those bad days are exacerbated by the fact that I've got PTSD. And things do affect me. When someone hurts me, it affects me more than most people. But I'm learning to just... The thing I've done there, the critical part there was, I took the things away that were hurting me. If you were hurting me, fuck off. I'm done with you, mate. You fucking hurt me too many times, or you've not supported me. Fuck off. Because I know for a fact I'm going to support you, but I'm not getting it back. When I did that, and I made those changes, and I changed my job, and I sit down and have open conversations with my wife. Absolutely. Like this yesterday morning, I sat down and went, have I ever fucking hurt you? Is there something I can do to, to rectify the last 10 years? Or I don't want you to just let it go. I don't want you to just suppress it. How can I fucking help you? And we had an open conversation for an hour. It transpires that she's put it to rest. She knows about mental health. She's researched mental health. She's had to. She lived with it. She lived with me, and I was a fucking big gorilla of an arsehole. She's lived with that and endured that. She's endured me calling her fucking horrible things. But she sees the change in me already. She went, James, I see you making the effort. You're actually actively making the effort to do things, and you're doing more for the family. And I am. Since I made the change, I'm engaging more with my girls. I went to a boot sale this morning, saw a pair of fucking joggers, just little sloggy joggers, fucking £2. But I knew my daughter would love them, and I was like, they're fucking pristine. Fucking nice, £2, I'll take them. Got some right bargains, actually. Got an £80 fucking child seat for a car for £3. It's fucking pristine. I haven't got a child, but my missus obviously child mine, so it was good for her. But making those conscious efforts to make those changes makes me think about other things, other than just sitting here looking at the screen going, I fucking hate my life. I hate who I am. What have I become? Fucking this is shit. What's the purpose in life? I haven't questioned my purpose in life for a good fucking couple of weeks because I didn't need to. My purpose in life is to be surrounded by good people and make memories. You get one chance of this fucking life, and it can be taken away at the click of a fingers. You could literally get fucking diagnosed with cancer. You could fucking have a heart attack. Anything can happen. What are you going to say you've left behind? What memories have you left behind? Have you left good memories? You've not left enough memories, I can guarantee you that, because we never should stop making memories. Anyway, I've fucking churned on for an hour and 15 minutes. I get into my little zone. I've been away for a week, so it's important though, guys. Everyone that listens, everyone that fucking wants to talk, I hope this is really giving you a little insight into. I don't want to just talk about the negativity. I don't just want to talk. There's a lot I can talk about. There's a lot I will always talk about. But I don't just want to constantly talk about the negativity. I want to show this is working. I want you to experience what I'm experiencing. And that is 100% reflected on who you're surrounded by. Who looks after you? You can't look after yourself on your own. You can't go through life. You can't fucking do it. I don't care what anyone says. I've tried and I'm strong as a fucking ox. But, you know, I'm pretty resilient and I've taken a lot of shit. It's not often you can sit there, down a fucking couple of bottles of fucking pills and think you're going to give up and then go, I don't want to fucking be here. And then go, don't be a dickhead. Not many people can say they've got to that point in their life and fucking said, shit, you are worth more than this, James. You're letting a mental fucking illness, that's not me, that's me knocking my desk. You're letting a mental illness control you. You are the mind. Become the mind. And I did. And I'm here, surrounded by fucking amazing people, surrounded by beautiful people. I want to do more. I want to do these adventurous things. Fuck work. Do enough in work to give you the fucking, just to get by. Do enough to get in work to fucking make people notice you if you need to. I know I've got a couple of people that are military-fied. You have to fucking go above and beyond to get promoted because it's a wank system. At least it's not like the RAF where you had to do secondary duty to get promoted. I did 4 years of the fucking RAFA Association every other weekend selling fucking RAFA memorabilia. What did I get out of that? Nothing. Big thumb up the fucking arse. So I've given up life. I've lost time. Don't let time run away with you. It's short, it's precious, and it's meaningful. And I want to be sat there, and I want to know that when I fucking pass, and I fucking pop myself out of my coffin, not alive, spiritually, I want to look into the fucking crowd, and I want to see people that love me. And I want to see people that are happy that they enjoyed my life together. Don't mourn me, celebrate me. And that's the difference. It's all about promoting positivity. If you're surrounded by negativity, you will be negative. If you're consumed by negativity, you will be negative. When you promote yourself, when you pick yourself up and you go, I need to make the change, you will make that fucking change. But you need to stick to it. 3 fucking months, guys. 3 fucking months. That's when it becomes routine. Do it constantly. If you do it in sporadic little spells and you do a couple of fucking days here or a week here and give up, that's you. You've let your mind win. Put that shit to bed. Make it so that your goals are achievable. Make it so your goals are manageable. Don't fucking push yourself too hard. Don't go into work. I've got fucking 300 emails. I'm going to answer them all today. Don't be a dickhead. You're just going to look like a fucking mug. You're just doing everyone else's work for them. Spread it out. Spread your day out. Make the change. Make the difference. And when you've nurtured the right people, and this is where I started my journey by fucking removing the negativity straight away. And I was surrounded by people that wanted to see me succeed. And I want to see them succeed. And that is just manifested into where I am now, where I can have an alcoholic drink and I can fucking have a good time, and I can wake up the next morning and go, what a good fucking time that was. Guys, thank you so much. Fucking love you to bits. It's all about that. And the support is invaluable. Got 2 of my fucking good friends on the thing. I appreciate you listening to me, guys. I hope you got a lot out of this. Just a massive thank you. I'm going to knock it on the head there because I do need to get myself some fucking Frosties, guys. Because the diet starts tomorrow. Because I put on a couple of fucking pounds that's smacking my big belly. Thank you for listening, everybody. I really appreciate this, and any future listeners. I hope you've got a lot out of this. I've got some really good topics coming up this week. I've got the motivational minute, new one coming up tomorrow. It'd be interesting to see what I pop out. I don't know what it is, the anteater. I think that's the last one. Motivational minute and a couple more lives. I still want to debate, guys. Come on, I still want to debate on the 3 categories and what people think of that, because it's really important, and I've been promoting it quite a bit. So mental health, mental illness, and mental injury. Be interesting if we categorise those in the right way. So it'd be nice to have a little debate. But